Spoon, your action figure aficionado here with a NECA / Kenner toy Volution. This is for the spiked tail Predator, which was a Kenner toy released in their Predator toy line. Over here. Show you the card quick. Spiked tail Predator. With nice little artwork there that Kenner was known for in the time. Just a little glimpse in the back of the card. Just basically some instructions here. And this was released in 1994. Now I believe I actually got this Spiked Tail Predator. This is the original one I had as a child. I think I got it for Christmas from some friends of the family one year. Just one of those acquaintances that like, hey, he might like this, and oh, turns out I really did like that. I think that was one of my favorite gifts of the year was from other people, was just getting this Spiked Tail Predator. I really enjoyed the Alien Predator toys from the 90s that Kenner did. So Toy Evolution. I've done this with a couple Motus already. I take a toy and I just show how it's progressed or changed throughout the years. Now I'm going to start just kind of doing a little bit on him here. He came packaged with these 3 discs that became popular as seen in Predator 2. And this little side cannon here, which actually pegs into the arm. Limited posability, as figures were there, and the head is kind of locked in with this long braid here, creating his spiked tail, which is actually just a long braid of hair. Really cool, really cool. One of my favorite Predator masks with the open visor there. Pegs lock in to his face. Snaps it in. And you can see his eyes through there. I thought this was really cool. All these discs stack, peg into each other, and can go onto his back here. Whereas then you take the groove in this disc. Been a long time since I've done this, trying to figure out the best way. And here's spring action. And that went on my floor. Ooh. So he was a Kenner original, which I finally broke down and decided I really did like some of the Predator toys. I didn't want to collect anything new, but NECA, I just saw this one in a store and it was marked down because the bubble was damaged. It was marked down to $17. I couldn't resist because I'd been on the fence for a while, especially when NECA started doing their Kenner retro figures. So that's what this is. I've taped the cover art of the bubble to the back of the card. They actually create a nice little bio for Mr. Spiked Tail here. And show some of the other toys that were released, which Ghost Predator is like in the Kenner line for NECA, but wasn't a Kenner toy. I think they just kind of created a toy that looked like it might be, that would fit with the Kenner collection. Well, Stalker Predator coming out with the Spiked Tail there. Now, technically Kenner did have another Spiked Tail release, so he did change a little bit. It was the same mold and tooling that went into them, but you'll see that when they re-released them 2 years later, 1996, which I believe was part of a KB promotion, they were continuing the line, and KB kind of had some exclusive toys from 96 to 98, including Hive Wars and stuff like that. Most of them were just repaints of the originals, and some of them might have even been rebranded slightly with different names, but Spiked Tail is technically still Spiked Tail. Completionists of the vintage line would probably want to get one of each. He was dominantly featured with his gold armor here, with the repaint having silver armor. I believe this is Series 16 of the Predator toy line. you can get a good idea of just the detailing paint apps that go into them. Yes, with some of the NECA stuff I do have loose hip joints, but they haven't caused me no harm yet. The detailing on everything here, just to give you a good idea. He does have, this is actually kind of like a bendy, so you can slightly get it. The spike actually is pivotable. He's got little wires going out, so be careful of those wires. His mask snaps on. Give you a glimpse into his mug. He also came with a shuriken, or one of the little throwing discs like this, the classic one had. Now see this one on here, same thing, just that this one is not extended, ready to kill like this one is. And much like the vintage toy, it does just slide into a spot on his back. Or of course you could have him hold it, get ready to throw it. A lot of posability, movement all over the place in NECA toys. So they managed to keep these great paint apps and sculpts, maintaining all of this posability that they have in their figures. Now the peg on him, on this one, is probably the hardest part to really deal with on this piece. It is pretty cool. It's got pivot there, and it does change position within itself. Alright, so there you have it. Just a quick little toy evolution from Kenner to NECA on the spiked tail Predator. I am very fond of the Kenner one myself, but NECA really did blow it out of the park with their adaptation of him. Can't wait to do more of these, showcase the differences between the vintage and the modern but retro styled figures. If you want to learn more about any toy evolutions or anything else, or if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or a like, and please subscribe to our page, Action Figure Aficionado. And I am Spoon, your action figure aficionado, keeping it mint.